Ladies Pro Bowlers Tour on ESPN is being brought to you by True Value Hardware. For quality, selection, and personal attention, make True Value Hardware your store of first choice. And by Budweiser, proud sponsor of the 1988 U.S. Olympic team. This Bud's for you. Welcome to Sam's Town Hotel, Casino, and Bowling Center for the championship round finals of the $60,000 Brunswick Ladies Pro Bowlers Tour National Doubles. And now let's run down tonight's top 5 teams. Jumping all the way from 7th to 5th in the final game last night, the defending champions, Tish Johnson and Jeannie Berry. They'll bowl the talented duo of Leanne Barrett and Kim Kenyon. The winner of that opening test will then take on the tandem of WIBC Hall of Famer Judy Sutar and the LPBT's leading money winner so far this year, Lisa Wagner. Qualifying in the number 2 position this week, the team of Cindy Coburn and Edison, New Jersey's Bonnie Joel. While nailing down the top seed position for tonight's championship round, 25-time titleist Patty Costello and her partner, Dinah Wheeler. Hi, everybody. I'm Denny Schreiner, and welcome to Las Vegas, where we'll have the doubles championship this evening. And working with me once again tonight, Leila Wagner, and she and her partner, Paula Drake, ended up 17th this week. But Leila, a chance for the lady pros to bowl with one another this week, and it's a nice way to wrap up the summer tour.
It sure is, Denny. I tell you, after 6 long weeks out here on the tour, it's great to be able to have somebody to depend on when things aren't going so well for you, or just cheer for.
All right, let's talk about the team that won it all last year. Jeannie Berry and Tish Johnson. They were very excited about the victory last year. They qualified number 5 tonight. Can they make it 2 in a row?
Well, they're an exciting team to watch, I tell you. Anything can happen. However, it's going to take a lot of luck this evening to go through the field that we do have. It's a really tough field.
All right, now give us an idea of the strategies. What's the difference when the professionals bowl as individuals? They have to use both lanes. Tonight, each player will be slotted on just one lane. Is it easier or more difficult to throw strikes?
Well, it's definitely easier, Denny. You can get up in one lane. That's all they'll be practicing on. They'll determine what lane they want to bowl on, and they'll get lined up and locked in on that particular lane and hopefully throw a lot of strikes.
Well, we're looking forward to some exciting action here at Sam's Town this evening. The top prize, $14,000. That's $7,000 apiece. But before we get to the championship game, we'll have to open up with game number 1. The teams of Tish Johnson and Jeannie Berry against Leanne Barrett and Kim Kenyon. Welcome back, everyone, to Sam's Town in Las Vegas, Nevada for the championship round finals of the $60,000 Brunswick LPBT National Doubles. And, well, one of the defending champions will open up play here this evening.
That's right, Denny. Jeannie Berry here is the leadoff for the Johnson-Berry team, who are the defending champions from last year.
A little confusion as Jeannie decides that she'll start on the left-hand lane, leaves the 4-pin. She started to line up on lane 22, but keep in mind the players will bowl all 5 of their frames on one respective lane. It's complicated enough as it is.
Yes, it is, and we only have one doubles tournament a year, so it gets a little confusing.
Now, last year, though, Tish Johnson and Jeannie Berry were in the top seed position. This year, the tables have been turned. They start from the number 5 spot.
And actually very fortunate to be in that number 5 spot. They shot a great .491 game last night. And as Jeannie misses a pretty easy spare, which is a costly mistake, but hopefully Tish will be able to come back. As you see, the ball just slides, doesn't actually break. Just missed that by a hair, though.
Boy, there was nothing in between the ball and the pin. Couldn't see a thing. So an open on the opening shot by Jeannie Berry. Boy, you don't miss the 4-pin and get away with it too often. Let's see now what Kim Kenyon does.
Kim Kenyon, first time on television, Denny. Throws a great ball. She bowled in collegiate for Buffalo State.
Well, she opens up with a bit of a wall shot on lane 22.
She's an emotional player. She shows quite a bit more emotion than her comrade, Leanne. As you'll notice, when Leanne throws a shot, you can't tell if she got a strike or a split. Her reaction pretty much stays the same.
Leanne celebrating her 21st birthday today out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Was the top seed in the WIBC Queens earlier this year. Lost that title match, so she's looking to come back in the championship round. Gets a bit of a break in the 5-pin stand.
What a great place to celebrate your 21st birthday right here in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Well, she's old enough to gamble now.
Yes, she is, after she's been here for 7 days.
Yeah, I'm sure she hasn't bet one time in that week.
Leanne has a very unusual stance, Denny. She faces the right as she lines up and then crosses over, and but she gets to the line very well.
One of the very strong young players on the LPBT Tour. She has 3 national titles already to her credit. And as we've just mentioned, she just turned 21, so long, illustrious career in front of her, Tish Johnson. And kind of the heart and soul of this doubles team. And Tish comes up and throws an excellent shot on the right-hand lane. And, oh, my, the high fives are flying already between Johnson and her partner.
Well, they definitely keep up the spirit here, the team spirit. As you saw, that shot just flushed the pocket. They do have the crowd behind them. Jeannie Berry is from Las Vegas, Nevada, and Tish by nearby California, and they do have the fans.
Tish from Panorama City, California. Well, you don't have to shoot the 4 if you trip it out.
No, I saw a lot of trip 4s this week. As a matter of fact, I classed with Kim Kenyon and Leanne Barrett, and Kim Kenyon and I were keeping track of our trip 4 pins, so they were pretty easy to get out.
Out of Lockport, New York, seeking her first professional title, just 24 years of age. Playing the extreme outside angle, hits the pocket but leaves the half-10. Kind of an unusual stance for Kim as well. His feet not pursed together like most players like them.
And she actually stands with her feet pretty far apart.
At least a foot, huh?
At least a foot apart. Both her and her partner are very similar, actually, in their games. They like to cross the boards and swing the ball. And Kim, she misses the 10-pin there.
Well, the nerves of national television, so we'll take a break right now. Well, no, we won't. We'll just hold on one more shot here and wait to find out if Leanne Barrett can strike on the left-hand lane.
Actually, Denny, Leanne and Kim were the closest in averages. Leanne averaged 207 and Kim 209. And a lot of the other teams are a little bit heavy on one side than the other.
A little more direct with this shot, and an excellent response on the left-hand lane. And so Tish Johnson and Jeannie Berry contemplate what might be happening in just a couple of minutes. We'll be back. They lead against that team right there. Tish Johnson and Jeannie Berry lead by 11. Could be 21 if Tish strikes here on the right-hand lane.
Tish looked like she had a pretty good shot in practice. She said they were a little tighter for her than they have been. As you can tell there by the ball not quite getting up to the head pin, but she got the break. And the 10-pin falls right at the last minute, leaving her with a little easier spare conversion.
The 3-5 and 3-pin appears to be a tad off spot after being rustled around a little bit, so she'll have to be careful not to chop it here.
Yes, it does. They look like they're a little bit farther apart than normally would be.
Trick here to hit that lead pin first, and she does. So a nice conversion for Tish Johnson.
And a little high five there.
Yeah. Even on the spares.
Well, that's what keeps their team going, and really kept it up. Jeannie really didn't bowl as well as Tish did this week, but she was there in the spirit, and as long as you keep your opponent pumped up when they're bowling good, they can carry you.
That's right. You carried me earlier this week when we bowled in the Rush doubles. I'd like to thank you publicly for that.
You're welcome.
Strike on the left-hand lane. We were bowling for Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Las Vegas, and they came within 9 pins of winning $1,000.
And unfortunately, we didn't throw as many shots like this as we needed, but this was a super shot. Jeannie really couldn't throw it too much better, and she gets very excited.
Well, she's been off most of the year. She has battled with tendonitis in her right forearm and elbow, and it appears to be pretty much gone, but she hasn't seen much playing time this year. Right back. This one goes a little long. 7-pin finally drops, but the 10-pin stands, and now Kim Kenyon has to step up and try it again. She missed it the last time around.
I think she'll be able to pick it up this time. She made a crucial error last time when she shot the 10. She thought the ball was going to slide a little bit more than it did, and now I think she knows just how much it will slide. She throws a pretty much backup ball to her 10-pin, like Robin Romeo did last week.
Well, she's obviously had a good week on the championship round pair. She has posted the highest average of our 10 players on the show with a 227 average on lanes 21 and 22. She'll need a few more strikes if she expects to advance with her partner Leanne Barrett. They trail by 9.
Leanne's high game up to this point on television is only a 199, so she's definitely trying to throw more strikes than that. She crunched the pocket last time on lane 21, and whoa! Actually not sending that one far enough to the right. Leanne crosses a lot of boards, and when she gets in trouble, like they said to us while we were crossing with them, when it goes bad, it goes real bad for them. But when she gets locked in, she has the nickname of Boomer. Well, Elaine Blumenberg gave her that last year, and it's because when she does hit the pocket, they all go.
Well, I think she's obviously still in the learning process as well. Just cover up that time. Well, a very, very young player, and she's still basically learning the game and accepting the pressures of national television in the championship round. I think when she gets comfortable there, then she's liable to win a bunch of titles.
Oh, she will, and I tell you, Denny, she has a fantastic attitude. Like I mentioned before, you couldn't tell if she threw a split or a strike, and that's what it takes.
Tish trying to double up in the 6. Oh, 6-pin slapped right out on the right-hand lane, so it's a 22-pin advantage now for the team of Berry and Johnson, and right now Jeannie Berry could really help the cause.
A great look at Tish's game here. She's very low at the line, comes through the ball, and the results are very good. She gets the trip right there on the 6. Not too much emotion there. Yep. As you recall, last year, this team started out with the first 8 strikes.
Yep, very aggressive. Well, that one dropped behind the line. The baby split remains. But it's the second double already for this team.
Doubles aren't that easy when you're bowling a Scotch doubles format here.
Let me ask you, what's it do to your timing, Leila, when you're bowling in this? You only throw a shot once every 4 frames, and that's got to be a difficult thing to adapt to.
It is. However, we have been crossing with this amount of people, during the whole tournament, and that's about what the pacing was, 1 shot every 4 frames. So I think the women are used to it. Well,
missing in the baby split, so that'll tighten up the game just a little bit, and this is what they're shooting for here this evening. 14,000 on top, 7,000 per second, but we've still got a lot of bowling before we worry about the title match. 24-year-old Kim Kenyon now on the right-hand lane. Her team trails by 8, and I think at this point they have to feel fortunate that they're only trailing by that amount.
That's right. 2 errors actually by Jeannie Berry. Split, missed 4-pin, and Kim's looking for the strike, and she swishes the 5, wiggles the 7, and it doesn't fall.
Playing about the 7 or 8 board, but by the time the ball gets to about 45 feet, it's about the 5 board.
She does like to cross the boards, like I said before, her and Leanne do.
Let me ask you this, Leila. How easy, then, is it for players that are comparable to help each other, line each other up across the house in the tournament itself?
Oh, very good to be able to bowl like your opponent. Actually, I was playing straighter up. Paula and Drake and I, we could say, hey, this lane's tripping a little bit more, that lane's not. And if your games are comparable, you can do that. If you're a left-hander and right-hander, you can't do that very easily.
Yeah, but if you get a horse like Patty Costello, you don't have to worry about it, right? Boy, she just buried the field this week, and Dinah Wheeler bowled very well also, but boy, Patty Costello just had a great week.
Yes, she did, and actually Dinah was only 6 for the 34 women that participated in the final, so she did very well herself. And Leanne getting a break there, and she leads only the 6-pin, which could have been very awful split.
Team upcoming, Judy Sutar and Lisa Wagner. Bonnie Joel and Cindy Coburn qualified number 2. And as we've already mentioned, Patty Costello and Dinah Wheeler, the top-seeded team this week. It's the final summer tour event. It's the LPBT on ESPN this coming fall, beginning October 5th, live from Virginia Beach, Virginia. The $45,000 Virginia Classic, one of 6 tournaments on ESPN this fall. And of course, the culmination of the fall tour right back here at Sam's Town for the big national Pro-Am, $125,000.
Great fall lineup. Be looking forward to the 6-week layoff time and getting right back into the swing of things.
Well, I know you'd like to go for a while and get some rest, but there's work to be done for these teams here this evening. Clutch shot in the 8th for Tish Johnson. Now she sets up her partner, Jeannie Berry, and if that team would go off the sheet, they have a possible 223.
Well, I asked Jeannie how she would describe her partner, Tish, and it was awesome in Jeannie's words, so...
10-pin lead could turn into 20 with an X in the 9th. It's been kind of an up and down championship round thus far for Jeannie Berry.
Jeannie is a student right now at the University of Las Vegas, so she hasn't been bowling too much. Oh!
Well, it took a while, but the 9-pin finally was convinced to fall.
As you can see here, her ball's going to dive in very high, leaving her almost with a 4-9 split. The 4 toddles the 9, and it does fall right at the last minute. And Tish described Jeannie as exciting, and this is a great view of it.
If first you don't succeed, wait for the 4-pin one more time. Oh, there's the high fives. You'd think we were playing in the NBA here this evening. Oh, my. Very professional shot in the 9th as Kim Kenyon finally says, you know, I've thrown some pretty good shots on this right-hand lane. I finally got myself a strike.
Yes, she has. She's just left 2 10-pins, a 7-pin, and a strike.
Possible 203 if Leanne Barrett can strike out. And if you'd watch Leanne from behind, you'd think she was going to throw the ball on lane 24 rather than on lane 21.
She'll cross over here with her right foot. Swings a little to the left, but makes it back. Just in time to crunch the pocket. Just a super hit off that 6-pin, and 6-pin falls.
So it's a double up now in the 9th and the 10th.
If Leanne catches this strike here, or actually strikes out the next 2 shots, they force Tish to get up and get the first one. This young lady will be around for a lot of years. We mentioned with an attitude like hers and a game like hers. Getting the ball way out. Oh.
Well, everything fell but the 5. Unfortunately, Leanne had turned around and walked back to the set tee area. Well, I guess you have to remark that trust is a must. She obviously gave the ball enough room, but not the kind of shot that she wanted to make right there.
Well, she did give the ball the room earlier on that frame. She went high, just trying to trust it and not making it back.
So a game of 192 for the team of Leanne Barrett and also Kim Kenyon. And count now just the important thing for Tish Johnson. And this is the easy way to win an opening match.
Yes, it is for a player like Tish Johnson. And she definitely looks lined up on lane 22. She's only missed once.
Trying to put the opening match away, and that will do it. Leaving a little calling card on lane 22. The double high five now. Well, I don't think there's any doubt Jeannie Berry has been watching the Runnin' Rebels of UNLV.
That's true. I think she's a definite fan of UNLV basketball. She said that on her stat report.
Yep. Right back at him. All right, 7-pin stands, but it's more than enough. For the defending champions, that dream of perhaps winning 2 in a row remains alive.
Sure it does.
Nice to win that opening game, too, because you have a tendency to relax a little bit, get settled in, and now, of course, coming on, Judy Sutar and the tour's top player at the moment, Lisa Wagner. Really a tough tandem. So it's a 212 to 192 victory, and it was all sewn up by this shot, the first shot in the 10th on the right-hand lane. A big strike for Tish Johnson, and as I mentioned, a bit of a calling card for perhaps the team that's coming up next. And here's a look at the twosome of Judy Sutar and Lisa Wagner. They'll have their hands full. We'll be right back with that match in just a moment. And in game number 2, the new team. And we'll reverse the order of the graphic there. Judy Sutar and Lisa Wagner against the defending champs, Tish Johnson and Jeannie Berry. And Judy Sutar will start the match on the left-hand lane. And the team of Berry and Johnson has switched their order up a little bit to keep Tish on the right-hand lane. Apparently she wants to stay there.
A very smart move, actually, Denny, because Tish was so locked in on that right-hand lane. She does not want to switch. 6
career titles for Judy Sutar. First shot. Oh, breaks up a bit of a split, and so she leaves the 6th pit.
Judy really excited to be here on the TV show. She was really looking forward to bowling with Lisa. Lisa obviously having such a fantastic year. However, Lisa said she just rode Judy into the finals last night. Judy carried this team into the television show, and if you ask Judy, she said, yeah, but Lisa got us here.
Yeah, she bowled well the first 5 rounds.
Right.
Judy felt like, I think she bowled pretty consistent, but she said, I bowled real well last night, and that was the key for us. So.
That's what it takes. Once again, it's team bowling. Whenever Lisa needed a strike to win the match, she did it. So a lot of bonus pins coming to count there.
Opening shot now in game number 2 for Tish Johnson.
Judy collecting her ball. Obviously, the field's not quite right. She wants to add a piece of tape.
It's amazing what happens to the size of your thumb from the time that you practice until the time you finally get on the show.
Oh, and the heat and the lights and just so many other factors involved.
Tish Johnson starting to get lined up on lane 22, and Jeannie Berry is going to try and open up with a double on the left-hand lane, and the pressure will be on Lisa Wagner very quickly.
And as we've seen in the past, Lisa Wagner is a very, very good pressure bowler. So,
oh, yeah.
Jeannie looking for this double to start the match off strong. Looks real strong in that shot.
Well, it's amazing when you get the chemistry. You know, these guys paired up last year and ended up leading the tournament, and all of a sudden they come back one more time this year, and even though Jeannie hasn't been bowling at all, it's like they haven't left.
That's exactly right, and it's actually amazing. But like I said, it's the chemistry and it's teamwork.
Tour's leading money winner right now, Lisa Wagner, with earnings in excess of $77,000 here in 1988. That one goes a little long, doesn't quite react in the fashion that she would have liked, and she's got a difficult spare to start.
Yes, she does, but Judy was mentioning Lisa does not miss too many spares.
The tough 2-4-8, and what's the best way to convert this?
Lisa will go as directly as possible. She doesn't want to get the ball moving to a left position and chop off and leave that 8-pin standing. So she goes very straight and direct anyway.
Good look at her husband, Kent, one of the stars of the PBA Tour, who decided to take this week off and watch his lovely wife work here at Sam's Town, and that's got to be a lot of fun to do.
Oh, yes. Judy had a lot of family here as well. Her husband, Dave, flew in yesterday. Her mother, her son, sister-in-law,
I like
friends.
How Lisa describes Kent, a professional bowler and race car driver, in his spare time.
Oh.
Well, the 1-2-4, not a good offering that time by Judy Sutar, as it looks as if Judy right now is still fishing a little bit on the left-hand lane.
She is, Denny. She went high on lane 21, that time giving it a little bit more room, obviously making the adjustment, and she doesn't get the ball up to the head pin. Talking to the women a little bit beforehand, they said the lanes were tighter, and you want to be able to trust it to the right, but if it doesn't come back, it's tough to do.
Yep.
Judy is now the tour representative for Brunswick. As you can see, all the shirts this evening are provided by Brunswick, as all the finalists are wearing them.
Well, she made the adjustment. Ball came up a little bit high. Looked like it was a pretty good shot, but, well, that lane must be very tight because Judy is definitely throwing it up and at him. Tish Johnson and Jeannie Berry have opened up with a strike each. We're in the third here of the second game. The winner of this game will then take on the number 2 team, Bonnie Joel, and also Cindy Coburn.
I tell you, Denny, that was just a fantastic shot there by Tish. She just blew the pins out of the building. As you can see here, the 5-pin goes definitely left, and everything else goes right, and she's running out of the building.
Those fans just to the left of the championship pair had better be alert. Tish will end up in somebody's lap before this one's all over if they continue to strike, looking for 4 in a row. Not quite. The 2-pin stand.
Jeannie waving that one on, trying to get the ball up to the head pin. However, just made it, but not enough to get herself a strike. Tish said she just wants Jeannie to concentrate on picking up her spare. So apparently she had a bit of spare trouble this week.
Well, she missed the 4-pin in the first game, but covered up nicely there. And so they continue to lead midway through game number 2. And, well, we had a couple of perfect games this week, and that's the result. Lots of green and those bright smiles. Well, it's a little early in the match to be trailing by 36, but those are the sad details right now for the team of Sutar and Wagner.
Lisa going a little light on lane 22, her last attempt, looking to make the adjustment here. When the lanes are tighter, it wouldn't be to the Sutar-Wagner team's advantage.
Well, this one was pulled a little bit. I think Lisa thought for a moment that she had problems, but that one settled in and just went high and flush.
She definitely felt that she pulled this ball through the shot, and she did. However, like you said, it went high flush. And I think she was a little amazed and said, I now think I'm lined up.
Well, instead of throwing it right, we'll give it a little Yankee Doodle from here on out. Big shot right now in the match for Judy Sutar.
Judy likes to play down and in as well. Not a good pointer. However, she's going to get the break. 5 on the deck, and a little emotion for Judy Sutar.
Well, look at Judy. She comes back and she's saying, now, wait a minute. I've got experience, but that's a little tough.
You don't see too much emotion from Judy, but I tell you, this week we saw it. Here she just about got all 5 pins there on the deck, and this is the most I've seen in a long time.
Well, the head pin took out about 4 different pins that trip. Keeps her speed up, but this one's through the nose, and the 6-7 remains on lane 22 as Tish makes a little adjustment at the foul line concerning the approach, but she'll have her hands full with this shot.
Tish didn't look like she slid real well on that shot. The approaches here, we are on synthetic conditions or finishes, and the approaches can get a little tacky and slippery on you. Whoa!
Ooh, gave it a run, just barely missed the 6-pin. So now it's up to her partner, Jeannie Berry, to bounce back and throw a good shot on the left-hand lane. The team of Leanne Barrett and Kim Kenyon collecting $3,200 for finishing 5th this week.
Jeannie actually said she gained 10 pounds from last year, Denny. I don't really know where she put it. She's sure throwing the ball a lot stronger. And that was a great shot there by her.
She try and gain the weight?
Yes.
Get a little stronger.
And she looks a little stronger. She's coming through the ball now. A lot more revolutions.
That's the biggest key, too. You know, when your partner, your teammate makes a mistake, to be able to come back and throw a strike and settle back down.
You want to keep that adrenaline going in the team.
Now a key shot for Lisa Wagner here in the 6th. This would make it 3 in a row. She trails by 12 and could cut the lead to 2.
Ooh.
Oh, my.
Actually pulling that ball farther in than the last time, and not too happy with that shot. She pulls up her towel. As you can see here, she pulls the ball through, and it just yanked it too much, as we might say.
Well, she's definitely playing up and at him. Speed this time, and barely gets 2, but instead of being down by 2, they now trail by 27. And so it's up to Judy Sutar to get things righted here.
Denny, when it's not your game to go up and at them, it's very difficult to do it consistently. When you like to go down the boards or even a little bit to the right, as we saw Leanne and Kim, when you have to go more direct, it's very difficult to do. You have to change your arm swing, keep your timing, and as Judy does there, she goes very direct at him, but she doesn't feel real comfortable doing that.
Good shot that time by Judy Sutar. She leaves the solid 4. Her husband Dave, Hall of Famer, on hand this week to watch.
And son Roy Cook,
that's right,
who is also in, and Mom Sophie, Nanny, as we call her.
Yep. The whole Sutar clan. A lot of the relatives end up watching. I don't know if it's because they want to see the bowling or they want to come to Las Vegas.
I think they want to come to Las Vegas.
So do I. Well, we're past the midway point. Sutar and Lisa Wagner trailing by 27 to that team right there. And we'll be back with the conclusion right after this. Tish Johnson, her team leading by 27, looking for the double in the 7th.
Denny, you notice Tish Johnson is blowing in her thumb hole prior to every shot. She's trying to dry it out. Ooh, letting up on her speed quite a bit that time. She stopped, looks down at the approach. She did so because she didn't get to the line real well.
Left the 6-7 the last trip going through the nose. Is that lane starting to break down a little bit?
I don't think it's breaking down as much as she's just not sliding good enough and getting through the ball with enough speed, and the ball's hooking on her. As she rubs her shoe there on the approach, she's definitely not sliding well.
Ooh, covers up the 6-10, but made it a bit dramatic.
When you lose your slide, Denny, you lose your leverage. And when you lose your leverage, you lose your speed and accuracy. And so it's very important to have a good slide.
Jeannie Berry has really settled in here in game number 2.
She looks very calm. Almost getting the swisher on the 7. Now, Jeannie likes to actually point the ball up a little bit more. I think she likes them when they're a little drier. However, she's pretty comfortable with this shot that's out here.
And that lone championship came here last year with Tish Johnson. Tish with 5 career titles. One of those coming this year. She won down in Atlanta. Covers up on the cross lane offering. And right now, Jeannie Berry and Tish Johnson working at a 2:04 clip.
And we see Lisa Wagner getting up on lane 22.
Lisa through the nose the last time. Must strike here.
Superb shot that was. A lot more speed. Actually, straighter arm swing, didn't pull the ball as much, and just crunched him.
Well, I think Lisa would love to have the shot back that she threw in the last frame.
You betcha.
Because that was on a double. If she strikes there, it's a whole different match. Now, keep in mind, though, if Judy Sutar strikes here, the team of Sutar and Wagner would have a potential 208, which still may be good enough to win.
That's right, Denny. Judy needs this strike here in the 9th frame. And you're going to see the emotion. She gets close, and it's there. And that's what makes her the WIBC Hall of Famer that she is. She can get those clutch strikes when she needs them.
Boy, that's a big, big shot for Judy Sutar.
Yes, it was. And good look at Judy's game. Right there, she comes through the ball just super. And all 10 right in the pit. And there's Lisa waiting to give her the high five.
It's amazing how fast that teammate will jump up when they see the X, because Lisa realizes she still has an outside shot. Back to work for Tish Johnson. Better speed, and does she swish him out? You bet.
The difference now, Jenny, is Tish is not up in the 10th frame. Jeannie, not having as much experience as Tish, is getting up now in the 10th frame. If she gets the first one, she actually closes the door on the Sutar-Wagner team. We'll see what happens.
If she doesn't, Lisa Wagner, the hottest player on the tour, may have a chance to redeem herself.
Jeannie looking for this strike, getting fast, and that's the pressure. And getting up in the 10th frame, as I just mentioned. Jeannie really doesn't have that experience when it comes down to her. Tish has been the anchor person all week for that team, and here she gets very fast, doesn't get through the ball, and as you can see there, just slides right on down the right side.
Biggest problem now is to shake off the first shot and try and make the spare, which would at least give him a chance. Boy, I tell you what, that's a very, very tough shot as she comes back and chats for a moment with Tish Johnson, and that's got to be the most embarrassing moment of her professional career. Look at Jeannie right now just trying to shake it off.
I think it was probably the most embarrassing.
Basically, if we were playing golf right now, you could consider that first shot, I hate to say it, the S word, a shank.
A shank. Well,
Tish just looked at us and winked and said, no problem. Well, what it's going to do, though, is set up a critical 10th frame for Lisa Wagner. So now it's 2:04, 2 strikes and 7 gives Wagner and Sutar the victory.
Lisa needing the first 2 strikes here, Danny. And if any player can do it, I tell you what, Lisa Wagner can. She's been in this position many times before.
Oh, what a great shot by Lisa Wagner. Woo, oh my.
She's not only doing it for herself now, she's doing it for her teammate. And as you can see here, she just crunches the pocket. Like Judy had mentioned, whenever Lisa needed a strike to win the game, she got it. In the 18 matches that we went through in the match play. Tish looking down, not wanting to see the results of this next shot.
Lots of speed again. Oh, my. A big double now. If she gets 7 or more, they come from behind for the win. Look at Judy Sutar's face.
Well, this was team bowling, Jenny. Judy got up in the 9th, just clutch-shotted the 9th frame there, and Lisa gets up, needs 2 in the 10th. She gets the 2, and now she needs 7 to win.
Boy, oh, boy. What a great game this has been. Jeannie Berry with a mistake in the 10th came back, redeemed herself, spared up through a strike, but it may not be enough.
Not when you're up against the best, as Judy Sutar described Lisa Wagner.
The heavy hard one, and the 4-pin stands, but it's more than enough. Lisa Wagner comes back and comes through in the clutch. 2:07 to 2:04, and will Wagner and Sutar continue? Only time will tell. The semifinal game coming up in just a moment. Well, the team of Sutar and Wagner has already used up at least one of those 9 lives here this evening, and now they'll match up with Bonnie Joel and Cindy Coburn here. And there you see Judy Sutar and Lisa Wagner. Their nerves, I think, have probably calmed down just a touch after that opening victory over Jeannie Berry and Tish Johnson.
What an exciting match that turned out to be after trailing there so much, and then to come back and pull it out in the 10th frame. You can bet Judy's heart was pounding.
Back now to work, though, in the semifinal game. That one's going to skid by, and 1-2-9. It's amazing what that commercial break will do to you.
Actually, just getting a little bit quick, not getting the ball through. Judy opens up in her backswing as her shoulder opens. She doesn't get it closed in time, then her ball sails on her and goes out to the right. She actually spins the ball quite a bit. She says, I've bowled like this for 40 years, though.
Yeah.
And been very successful at it.
No sense changing it now. So she opens with a spare, a little disturbed with her first shot, but nevertheless, always a relief to win that opening game. And now your first good look at 30-year-old Bonnie Joel from the East Coast, Edison, New Jersey. And she is seeking her first career professional victory.
Bonnie also holds down a pretty much full-time job as a nurse, registered nurse, but she says she works on a per diem and she just gets to set her own hours at the hospital. So that's a great way to be able to come out and bowl.
Oh, a little bit of a cave-in on that right-hand lane, and we'll get a chance to look at an unusual backswing and an unusual game if we get a chance to check that out, huh?
As you can see here in her game, she figures eights the ball and also breaks her elbow. But she gets around it good. She gets the line, stays down, and a lot of rotation on the ball. Kind of like Judy's shot we saw once before, 5 on the deck.
Tim Burr the call. And Cindy Coburn with a
Cindy's ball actually,
interesting shot.
Yeah.
For her, anyway.
Usually you don't come out or see her come out and do that right away. It looked like she set the ball a little short. Well, she does set the ball short, but if she sets it short and with not enough speed, the ball hooked early on her there.
This past week, as I broadcast the PBA event in Cheektowaga, New York, near Buffalo, had a chance to chat with Frank and Doris, her parents.
Frank very instrumental in coaching Cindy through the years.
Lisa Wagner, big double in the 10th to help capture the opening game. Well, nice to have a partner like that, huh? Loosen up your arm swing.
Lisa looking to go over that $100,000 mark for this year. That's her goal, and she's going to get a break on the Brooklyn side as she just smiles and comes back.
Well, there's nothing like having a bit of a variety.
That's right. Knowing that she has to pull the ball up to the pocket, she pulled that one a little too far and tripped out the 6 and the 10 there. Thing different here. When the players come back, whether they just spare or strike, they seem to be smiling and laughing and talking with their partner, and that's very unusual. You don't see that in an individual match.
Her partner, Judy Sutar, trying to get the first double of the match.
Oh, boy, I tell you what, Judy couldn't have got the 5 out any better than that shot.
Wait a minute. We need to see the replay. Judy Sutar shredding the rack.
Watch this 5-pin just flow into the 7 and the head pin coming off the wall, and I tell you, look at her reaction.
Wow. Boy, her husband, Dave, I don't know. I may have to check out the weights in that ball, huh? Big shot for Judy Sutar. Back now. Joel opened with a strike, gets this one into the oil pattern, shakes him loose, pin spinning around, but the 7-pin stands.
I tell you, it's great for the women out here that are on television for the first time, like Bonnie Joel and Kim Kenyon. Really eases the pressure having another veteran partner out there with you. And I think that's helped to loosen Bonnie up quite a bit. And Cindy just wanted Bonnie to convert her spares as well. She says, this lady can string strikes, but I just hope she converts her spares.
Spares up there in the 3rd. The team of Sutar and Wagner leading by 11. Keep in mind the top-seeded team, Patty Costello and Dinah Wheeler coming up next. And they'll be bowling for $14,000 in first-place prize money. That's to the number 1 team.
$7,000 each, a nice week's wage. As Cindy gets that ball definitely farther out to the right, and it still hooks on her.
Oh, she got fooled there. Something either in the practice balls or pre-telecast practice has her puzzled, because normally she'll come out in this kind of a situation and just label the pocket, and both of those shots reacting and hooking a little bit early.
And she was allowed a few practice balls prior to this, so she definitely looks lost. Which...
No.
Also spent a little time trying to get that sliding foot worked in, and obviously she's not feeling real comfortable there.
Once again, that slide makes all the difference in your leverage, your consistency. And she goes for it. Oh, what a super spare conversion. A 3, 6, 7, 10.
Well, never say die for Cindy Coburn as she converts on the big split. And that's what you have to do to stay alive in a semifinal match. Boy, that's how they draw it up on the board, stretching out, and we'll be right back.
Could be a 25-pin advantage should Lisa Wagner strike here in the fourth.
Ooh, oh, I tell you what, Denny, I almost could tell that she was going to strike from the way she really bent down. Lisa Sorter's been falling off the shot, being very fast to the line. She slowed down that shot, bent down, and she got great pin action.
Judy Sutar now in the fifth. Could make it a four-bagger.
Judy now out on tour full-time. Missed the last couple tournaments. However, always consistent player. Always up there in the top 24.
Looking for one more, a little high, and very fortunate to break things up a little bit. Judy not happy with that offering, but considering the fact that she didn't leave the split, at least she has an opportunity to convert the spare. That's your golfing buddy there, by the way, right?
That's right, my roommate this week. Judy and I roomed together for many, many years. Matter of fact, 10 years ago, Cheryl Robinson brought me out on tour and introduced me to Judy, and we've been rooming ever since.
You mean you came out on tour when you were 12 years old? Your parents allowed you out there?
Yes, I had to have parental consent. That's what they did.
You still need guidance. Uh-oh, picking off the 10. And so Judy Sutar with the miscue in the fifth, and that'll change the complexion of this match.
The ball sliding on Judy there as she chops that 10 off. Good look at Bonnie Joel from the front. She just slam dunks the pocket there.
That was a good description. That one was high flush all the way.
You can see the unique game of Bonnie Joel. Pushes the ball well out in front of her. Figure eights, however, her thumb is down, which is in great position as she cocks her elbow, and she gets great roll on the ball.
She's a planter, huh? Doesn't slide very much.
Now, can the adjustment be made? A little more speed this time. Oh, and the 6-pin at the very last moment with a love tap of the 10. And so the team of Coburn and Joel bounce back. They make the double work, and now they lead by 2 pins. Boy, it is back and forth.
That's what it is in team bowling. You think one team has it, and anything can happen.
Lisa Wagner now steps up in the 6th. Looked like Wagner and Sutar were going to coast to a victory here in the semifinal game, but then Judy Sutar opened up in the 5th, and Joel and Coburn took full advantage of it.
Oh.
Never ceases to amaze me when that momentum starts to move in the other direction. You throw a nice crisp shot and leave a ringing 10.
That extra little squeeze on the ball.
And then right now, Cindy Coburn and Bonnie Joel are saying, here we come. We're going to get a chance at him here.
When everything's going your way, Jenny, your arm swings loose, speed's good, that's when they all carry for you.
Well, the minute you have to start thinking about it a little bit.
Loser of this game will take home $3,800 to split. The winner will advance to the championship match, and $7,000 for second is the worst that you can do. Maybe $14,000 on top is the best. Just past the midway point here of the semifinal game. This is the final stop on the LPBT Summer Tour on ESPN. Judy Sutar coaxing, but ends up with a 6 count on the spare, and that won't help matters either.
Judy really not having very much area out there on the lane, Denny. She sends the ball just a hair right, and it doesn't get back. She pushes the ball up towards the pocket, and it goes through the nose on her. She probably has to be just perfect out there, and that's not a good feeling when you're in this position. looking to convert the spare. She definitely pulls it over and does it well.
Not an easy try for Judy Sutar. Her team trails by 6, and we'll be back with the conclusion of the semifinal right after this. Bonnie Joel working on the double. We're in the 7th, and if she strikes here, it's a 16-pin lead. She's been good on the right-hand lane. Speed is up. Oh, the 4-9 almost, and she ends up with just the 9.
A great break there, Denny. Definitely hitting inside of her target. The ball setting back into the pocket. She got a break when she tripped the 4-9. You can see here the ball very, very high in the pocket. That drives right through, and got a little love tap there on the 4.
Just enough to coax it down. It's a 5-pin lead if she converts here. Well, for her first appearance on national television, she has survived nicely.
Yes, she has.
Every ball in the pocket.
Cindy can't quite say that much for herself. However, she converted a great split, got the double, and I think she feels a little more comfortable now on lane 21.
Yeah, she's definitely moved a little bit left on the approach. Made an excellent shot. The last trip. Good speed. That one goes a little longer, and she ends up with a wall shot, and she'll take it at this point. A little discussion there about that particular shot. That's what's fun, too. You get a chance to get back there and get into it a little bit.
Get to talk about it and tell your opponent. Now, you know, I really thought that, or your partner there, I really thought that that was going to hook.
So Wagner with a clutch performance in inning number 1 for them. Strikes, trips out the 4 and the 7, and gives Judy Sutar an opportunity to double and really make this an interesting match. If Judy doubles, then they're ahead by 5.
Once again, we have a situation that we saw last game. Actually, if Judy can get this one here in the 9th and set it up.
I think she thrives on being in that situation. Now, I guess you do when you know you're going to deliver.
When you know you can deliver, that's right. Once you do it that first time and you get that strike, it's just a thrill. It's a constant thrill, and I think that's what most of the women out here feel and why they're on tour. They like that constant competition.
Got to stay in the pocket. Oh, boy. High in the 6-7. Judy Sutar dismayed by that shot, and now she's going to have to gather her thoughts and try and convert the split.
Actually pulling the ball too much through to the left-hand side, and it just slides right on through the nose.
More like
6-7.
7-pin rolled around, label turned, but it didn't fall. I have to go for the gusto here. Is it enough? Oh, my. Gave the fans a bit of a start, but that's an open in the 9th. And now the best possible score for Sutar and Wagner would be 197.
Which actually, Denny, Bonnie, and Cindy just need to stay clean.
A couple of marks will do it in good count. Easier said than done, though. Boy, she bowled well. Excellent shot there, and that's a double, and that pretty much is going to lock up the match as they lead by 27 now heading into the 10th frame.
It's really too bad. Judy would like to have won here. She hasn't won in 11 years. Both her and Lisa are on the Brunswick staff of champions. It's the Brunswick National Doubles. It would have been nice for them. However, Cindy and Bonnie are just bowling great.
Ooh. 7-pin was the last to fall. But that will be more than enough for the victory, and so Cindy Coburn and Bonnie Joel at least hold their position in the number 2 slot, and they'll get a chance to bowl for the championship here at Samstown, the site of the Samstown National Pro-Am event, the biggest stop on the fall tour, and so we'll take a break here as Lisa Wagner and Judy Sutar bow out in the number 3 position this week, but it's on to the game for Cindy Coburn and her partner. Only 2 teams now remain, the top seed, Patty Costello and Dinah Wheeler, and of course on the other side of the fence, Bonnie Joel and Cindy Coburn, and Dinah Wheeler will start the championship match on the left-hand lane. In practice, looked like that lane was pretty tight for her.
Yes, it was. Somebody sneezing in her backswing. She moved in deep and just left it. Oh.
Goodness, not a solid 7-pin. And Dinah has struggled on national television. She's had some bad breaks, and but geez, you come out and throw a great opening shot and leave a solid 7. That's got to be a bit demoralizing.
Oh, I tell you. But with a partner like Patty Costello and the great attitude that she has, she'll keep her right in there. Best finish this year for Dinah's 3rd in the South Bend, as we saw her on the show there. And the only thing you can say is, hey, that was a great shot.
Dinah steps off, and Patty says, hey, party, good shot there. Don't worry, you keep throwing it like that, we'll be all right. They're roommates as well, and so that's been a pretty good partnership thus far.
Yes, it has. We were talking about that earlier. That could actually separate roommates if one bowled real well and one didn't.
Patty had a great week here.
Both of them did super.
Bonnie Joel stuck at the line and paid for it. They're going to do a little extra work on the approach right there, as she'll have to convert the spare here in the first. The winning team collects $14,000 to split. The losing team will share $7,000.
Bonnie Joel actually averaging 207 this week. Cindy Coburn averaging 212. As you can see here, she actually sticks. She does plant, doesn't do a lot of sliding anyway, but she stuck and hopped, and that can cause for a bad shot.
Anytime you see that hop, you know, you got some problems. Usually the ball is gone at that stage, but not exactly the way you want to let it go.
Looking for the spare conversion. She does it the hard way, as she smiles when she comes back, going, hey, you know, I covered it.
This year, 53 teams competing in the national doubles, almost twice as many as last year. Nice to have Brunswick involved in this doubles championship.
It was just a lot of fun. I'm sure we'll continue to do this every year. Again, it takes the pressure after 6 weeks of being on tour to come out and have a partner to share it with.
Jim Bennett, the Vice President of Sales and Service for the Brunswick Corporation, will be presenting the hefty checks here this evening. Bruce Frazier, Assistant General Manager of Sam's Town, will be giving away the gorgeous trophies.
Just super people here at Sam's Town. Just love coming back every year. We're here for 7 days in the fall, so save up your money, Denny.
Yeah, I'll be back. First shot for the tournament leader. If this were an individual event, Patty Costello, right into the pocket, leaves the solid 6. 25 career professional championships for her, and she has a wealth of experience and talent and longevity. You know, you don't go out there and beat those youngsters week in and week out unless you've got some talent.
Patty actually, out of all the players that bowled this week, averaged the highest, 222. And her partner, Dinah, was averaging 215. So they were really a strong team.
Well, she's been a quality player for a good many years, and we talked about the top seed position. Look at that. In round number 2, they took over the lead and never surrendered first place.
That's right. They just actually ran away with the tournament there going in the last 2 rounds. Finishing up last night, about 600 to 700 pins.
Big jump for Joel and Coburn, too. They were 5th heading into the final round of match play and went from there to the number 2 slot.
They bowled real well last night as well, and Dinah says, I carry that time.
Well, that should basically have been a double for her individually. She threw a perfect shot to open the match and left a slam 7.
Those are tough to take. You always can analyze the 10s and say, hey, you know, what happened, or the 4s. And when you leave those pack 7s, you just kind of go,
Excuse me for throwing it perfect.
That's
I guess
right.
I'll just have to try again the next time.
Bonnie looking for the double here.
Ooh,
Didn't
good
quite get the
shot there.
triple on the 4.
4-pin wiggled and waggled, but didn't fall down.
Both Bonnie and Dinah are looking for their first career titles. So that makes this match very interesting because we have 2 veteran bowlers out here and actually 2 non-veterans. Bonnie taking time to set herself. Every time the same way. It's the consistency that she's looking for, and saying, hang on, I want to cover my spare.
Good look graphically at how the match stands. Very close indeed. Cindy Coburn, 31 years of age, out of the Buffalo area, 11 career championships. Her average on the television pair this week, 206.5.
Cindy's just a great player, very competitive, consistent, a super person as well. She's very friendly and seems to get along just about with everyone.
I would say that's almost a mirror image of Cindy Coburn, too. Okay. Cindy and Bonnie. Have they bowled together before?
They are roommates as well.
Ah, okay. What a great match play record for this young lady on national television. 39 victories against 21 losses.
She's very tough, Denny. She said very competitive, great concentration Cindy has.
Yeah, I think she focuses probably as well as any player. I think Lisa Wagner does as well. That's one of the hardest things to do with all the disruptions of the championship round, to just get focused in and dialed in and play your own game. And Patty Costello's done a pretty good job of that through the years as well. Needs a strike here for the first double to take the lead here in the title match.
Good call. She left the 6-pin last time, so she did hit the pocket, and that time a little lighter. She comes
fired
back.
up when she comes back there, huh?
Here's a good look at it. Very low at the line, coming through the ball, and picks up the rotation right there, enough to get that 4-pin slap on the 7. And there's her reaction.
Waiting for that 7 to go, and when it did, she exploded. So a double now. Dinah Wheeler could add to the kitty here if she strikes on the left-hand lane.
Oh, and a good shot again by Dinah, just wrapping that 10 with a 6.
Not much you can say. A solid 7, a solid 10, and a strike in between.
Both players have hit the pocket every time.
Championship pair, lanes 21 and 22. 56 lanes here at Samstown. Fans asking the ball to hold, and Dinah says, no problem.
I tell you, Denny, some of these teams, with the way they were slapping hands, I was pretty grateful that Paula is a little calmer. Yes, a little more reserved. I still have a hand. There were a few players. Robin Romeo bowled with Lisa Maurice, and they bowled very well, and I think Lisa crushed Robin's hand a few times. So.
Joel asking that one to step up and strike, and it just didn't quite happen. She's seen this before, had trouble converting it in the first, the 3-6-10, but she did so. Obviously make a little adjustment because she threw the ball a little bit left of the 3-pin the first trip.
I'm sure Bonnie's feeling a bit of the pressure, Denny. She's, Cindy's pretty locked in on lane 21, and she can strike. They've probably got a double.
Gives this one a little more room. Oh, my. Didn't quite come back. Well, that was the over-adjustment. She realized that it hooked a little early the last trip, and so a disappointed Bonnie Joel grabs the towel and sits down and now has to hope that her teammate Cindy Coburn can strike on the left-hand lane.
It's a tough feeling, Denny. Judy gets up in the last game, gets up in the 9th frame, leaves a split, and you feel like it's all your fault. And I'm sure Bonnie is feeling that way at this point right now. Hey, if we lose this, it's my fault. And you really can't feel that way. You have to think back and say, hey, I made some good shots when I needed them. And there's a crucial shot
Wow.
by Cindy as that ball hooked through the nose.
4, 6, 7. And could be back-to-back opens, which would just fling the door wide open for the top seed team of Patty Costello and Dinah Wheeler. I have a feeling as well as they're bowling right now, they're going to step up and take advantage.
They will, and 2 open frames like this definitely loosens up the team. They got to feel, hey, they're going to give it to us. Let's jump on it.
Like Cindy tried to fit that shot just a little bit, but last couple times it was light on the left-hand lane, and, you know, you start thinking about that, and you set it a little short or try and give it a little help, and then it breaks on you. That's the toughest part of the game.
That's right, same problem we saw Judy have, exactly. Patty also choosing lane 22, being a left-hander. Tish chose that lane. A comparison there. The weak 7 pin.
Out of Scranton, Pennsylvania. Average 204 on the championship pair. Her 20th career television appearance, second of 1988.
Patty enjoys golf and also tennis, all-around sports person. I remember back in the Superstars, she won the basketball event, I believe.
No kidding. Nice spare up of the 7 and a 33-pin advantage. So Wheeler and Costello coasting right now in the championship match.
Just trying to stay clean at this point, Denny. I know they're looking for those strikes. But if they can stay clean, they can probably win this match. You notice the scores are not as high with the doubles team as they normally are on an individual basis. And I think a lot of that has to do with the weight of the individual lane.
Another possible strike for Dinah Wheeler, who has to be wondering when will it happen. She's taking it well, but she's leading too.
They're leading, yes.
Yeah, it makes it a little easier.
When you're down by 20-some pins, then you're 32 pins.
Well,
it's a little tougher to take.
Dinah in search of her first national title as well, so whoever wins this one's going to end up with a first. Whether it's Bonnie or Dinah. And right now I have a feeling that Dinah can just taste that first win.
I think so. She's been out here quite a few years, Denny, and it's nice to have a partner help you get that first win.
Right back at him, needs a strike, and just an excellent shot. On lane 22 for Bonnie Joel, there's no time like the present to strike out. 2:14, the best possible game right now for Joel and Coburn, and yeah, they could get it done.
That's true, they could, and Cindy catches this one right here. She could apply a little pressure on Patty.
It's amazing what happens when your opponent doubles.
Cindy sending it a little farther to the right that time, and gets the break on the light hit.
A little bit of a shaker, and we have a match one more time.
As you recall, last time she left a split, so she definitely sends a little farther to the right, giving it the room and trusting it, and shakes those pins around.
In the 8th. All of a sudden now the complexion changes just a little bit. A 6 count. It doesn't help matters any.
No, Patty not getting that ball up to the head pin, sending it far out to the left side of the lane there. She was playing a little bit more direct towards the pocket, and that ball slid on her.
The 3-5-6-10.
Not an easy spare conversion.
Gonna play it to the right side. Converts it. Patty walks off and says, I'll take it. Yeah. While we've got a moment right now, I'd like to thank Bill Vint and all the folks at the LPBT, Lisa Vint for keeping score during this summer tour, and Fran Wolf, our national tournament director.
Jan Barnowski out in the truck.
Yep. We've had a great summer. Looking forward to the fall. Of course, our producer and director, George Smith and Kent Samuel, for their outstanding work on the summer tour. That one's a little wide, nearly a washout, and the 1-2-8. So all of a sudden, this team loses what? I'm going to say at least 6 pins in count, 5 pins in count over the last couple of frames.
Well, that's what happens when you put a little pressure, that one double.
And now, even if she spares, the best possible score for Wheeler and Costello would be 209, so Coburn and Joel really could take this one home.
Dinah sending a little far to the right and leaving herself with the 8-pin, does not convert the spare, and opening the door wide open for Cindy and Bonnie.
Boy, did this one turn around in a hurry. A 6 count, a 7 count, and an open, and now Wheeler and Costello lead by only 4. A couple of moments ago, they were up by 34.
This is probably the toughest shot, Danny, of Bonnie's career is right here.
Didn't waste much time.
And Cindy up just as fast as she could, slapped Bonnie's hand, and just a super shot. Gets through the ball well, and as you can tell here, the 6-pin slaps out that 10. And here's Cindy. They're carry, almost as if she threw it herself.
Now they lead by 6.
Cindy can lock out this match, Denny, with 2 strikes.
Gave it plenty of room. Oh, my. What a perfect shot by Cindy Coburn in the clutch. One more, and they'll go from second to first.
She doesn't need one more.
No, you're right.
She only needs count. The highest.
Look at the score. They're up by 16.
The highest that Dinah and Patty can shoot right now is 198. We were figuring it when Dinah had the spare. We thought she had the spare, but Cindy only needed the first one.
Well, the graphic tells the story. Hit the pocket right now, and a 9-pin no-tap is more than enough. Kind of let it down a little early. Frozen rope. X marks the spot. And Cindy Coburn and Bonnie Joel come up with the victory here in the Brunswick LPBT National Doubles. And there you see relief written all over her face. Cindy Coburn delivering in the clutch. In order to win championships, you have to make classic clutch shots, and that's exactly what Buffalo's Cindy Coburn did here at Samstown in the 10th frame, as this strike right here locked up the championship for she and her partner Bonnie Joel, 214 to 177. And there you see Cindy Coburn on the right and her partner Bonnie Joel, the first championship for Bonnie. To the left there, Mr. Jim Bennett, Vice President of Sales and Service for the Brunswick Corporation. And to the right, the Assistant General Manager here at Samstown, Bruce Frazier. 2 gorgeous silver bowls, gorgeous smiles, and obviously $14,000 in green for Cindy Coburn and Bonnie Joel. So long, everyone.
Championship round finals of the $60,000 Brunswick Ladies Pro Bowlers Tour National Doubles has been brought to you by True Value Hardware. For quality selection and personal attention, make True Value Hardware your store of first choice. And don't forget to tune in for the LPBT's Fall Tour on ESPN, beginning with the championship round finals of the $45,000 Virginia Classic live from Virginia Beach, Virginia, beginning on October